Welcome to last part of prepositions. Let's understand the words written after prepositions. The words written after prepositions are called objects of prepositions. Like transitive verbs, prepositions also need objects. Words and phrases that come after a preposition are called objects of prepositions. For example, Rani is waiting for you. Here we can see preposition is for, whereas the word written after it is its object, which is you. We can have nouns or pronouns as object of prepositions. Are you talking about this incident? Now, about is a preposition and object is incident. And the meaning of a sentence remains incomplete without the object of a preposition. Next, we have position or place of prepositions. Generally, prepositions are placed before a noun or a pronoun which is called its object. But we have some exceptions too. Let's read the first example. What are you thinking of? Who was this poem written by? Now you can notice in both these sentences we have used prepositions at the end. So the preposition comes at the end when its object is a question word. When its object is a question word. Now try to understand how can this question word be the object of the used preposition. Now if I say who was this poem written by? I get an answer. This poem was written by William Blake. So William Blake comes after the preposition by. So it becomes its object. That means the answer to the word who is the object of the preposition, but here that is missing, so we are taking this WH family word as the object of the preposition. Now let's read some more examples. This is the book that I was referring to. Now in this you can notice preposition again is used at the end. Now the preposition comes at the end of a clause, that means part of a sentence beginning with that, whom, that, which. And in some cases these words may not be used but may be implied, means suggested. The word may not be written because the sentence gives its meaning without the use or without writing those words, but those words are suggested. For example, this is the book I was referring to. This is the book which I was referring to. Let us look at the examples given in this slide. The balloon went up. The king soon dozed off. And the ant crawled up the wall. The book fell off the table. So you can clearly notice the difference between two sets of examples. On left hand side, we have the words up and off, which are used as adverbs in the sentences. Whereas on the right hand side, we can see up and off, the same words have been used as prepositions. And how can we identify whether it's adverb or preposition? Because after adverb, you may not find any other noun or pronoun, whereas a preposition always needs an object. So this is the difference between prepositions and adverbs. Now students, we have a very important slide. Let us try to understand the difference between at the end and in the end. Let's read examples first. I am going away at the end of January or at the end of the month. At the end of the concert, there was great applause. The players shook hands at the end of the game. So, we say at the end of the month, film, January, course, game, concert, and so on. What do you mean by at the end? At the end means at the time when something ends. So, we cannot say in the end of or in the end of the concert, in the end of January. It's wrong to say that. we say at the end because it means when something ends. And the opposite of at the end is at the beginning and not in the beginning. Now, we know at the end means at the time when something ends, whereas in the end means finally. In the end is used when we say what the final result of a situation is or was or will be. For example, we had a lot of problems with our car. We sold it in the end. That means no other alternative was left, so finally it was sold. He got more and more angry. In the end, he just walked out of the room, means he could not take it more and he finally left the room. Students, again we have a very important slide with very important prepositions, especially the prepositions in which you get confused. Now, first we have on the way. We stopped at a small village on the way to London. We never say in the way. If we say, that is grammatically wrong. On my way to school, I met my teacher. Next we have at the top of something, at the bottom, or at the end. As you can see in the picture, a page has been given, something is written, so we say at the top of the page, at the bottom of the page, right? Write your name at the top of the page. Jane's house is at the other end of the street. Next we have in the front or in the back of a car. We don't say at the front or at the back of a car. That is grammatically incorrect. We say in the back or in the front of a car. I always sit in the front of the car, or I like to sit in the front of the car. Next we have at the front or at the back of a building, theater, group of people, etc. Now, the garden is at the back of the house. That means it's there at the back side. Let's sit at the front of the cinema. See, though we say in the front, message is conveyed, but grammatically that is incorrect. And we should always strive to gain correct knowledge. So, it should be let's sit at the front or back of the cinema. Here, cinema is used for a building. We were at the back, so we couldn't see very well. Maybe at the theater they were at the back. Okay, next we have on the front, on the back. We say on the front of a letter or piece of paper, or on the back. I wrote the date on the back side of the photograph. Then we have in the corner of a room. The television is in the corner of the room. Now, in the corner is used for an enclosed space. Here you can see the picture in the corner. So, in the corner is used for an enclosed space. What do you mean by enclosed space? Which has four sides. Now, at the corner of a street or on the corner of a street, but on the corner is not frequently used. There is a post box at the corner of the street because street is not a closed space. I am going to home. Do you think it's correct? No, it's grammatically incorrect because as per rules, the word home does not take any preposition. We should say go home, come home, get home, on the way home, arrive home, etc. But we do use a preposition if we are talking about a specific home. For example, I am going to Kushal's home. I am tired. Let's go home now, and not go to home. So the word home does not take any preposition, but it may take if we are talking about a specific home. He is writing with pen. He is writing with blue pen, with red pen. That is grammatically incorrect. Students, we write with pen, but we write in ink. For example, you can see this rule has been encircled in red ink. Okay? Similarly, we write in pencil. When you do the exam, you are not allowed to write in pencil. I hope this point is clear. Thank you for watching.